Thomas Frank needs to go now. There's no choice but to get rid of him to save Tottenham from relegation, because this is a relegation battle that we are in. Let's get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another video reaction for you today for the Tottenham game against Newcastle, which we lost 2-1 at the Tottenham Hotspurs Stadium. And now it's kind of getting real for some Tottenham fans that thought we were in a relegation battle. And now it's time now for the board, Johan Lang, even though I want him gone, Vinay, even though I want him gone as well, to start really sweating and start making decisions, because we are sinking into a relegation battle at the moment. A game that was looked as a must-win for Tottenham Hotspur. You would have not guessed it, especially with the attendance at the stadium today. A lot of people voted with their feet, didn't go to the game and decided not to go. And there was a lot of empty seats in a stadium that holds up to 60,000 people. The fact that we didn't even have anybody in those seats, especially with the team going through what they're going through. And I'm guilty of that as well, but I'm fed up, as you would have guessed. It just shows you where we're at the moment as a football club. When you look at the overall game, Tottenham didn't really turn up in that first half. And really, to be honest with you, Newcastle were more on the front foot, had more of a better chances. Yeah, we had a few half chances with Javi Simmons, who was mainly our main threat up front. Solanke was kind of anomalous in the game. And then there was just hard workers in Gallagher and Sarr. But you can see that quality from Guimaraes, who was dictating the play. And really, it was just really Van der Ven and Dragusin just putting out fires, and even Archie Gray at that as well. Spence was, you could see that he was not really that fit, and I think he was trying to regain his fitness in the game as well, because it's his first start for quite a while since his injury. So really, it was just it was looking a very stalemate sort of a game in terms of Newcastle were more on the front foot, and they were carving out a couple of opportunities down the left. Alanga was getting past his man. A lot of the other side as well, Barnes as well, causing problems. They were pressing us more as well, finding more, passing between the lines, and it ended up Willock, a former Arsenal player, ironically, getting through. I think it was Ramsey with the through ball, and it was him that placed it in the bottom corner of Vicario's goal. Luckily for Tottenham Hotspur, that was offside. This is towards the end of the first half. But then Tottenham didn't heed their warning. With the amount of corners that were coming through, it was one of those crosses that went in, and it was Milik Chiao that taken two shots at goal, two chances, and he scored in his second chance. And that brought in Newcastle into half-time, 1-0 up. Boos ringing round Tottenham Hotspur like you're watching a bad show at the WWE or AEW, in fact. And the fact that there's nothing there. Nothing there. It was like what people were complaining about with Thomas Frank. He was more worried about losing the game than actually winning, actually trying to go out and win. And Newcastle cleared that they were looking to grind out a result because they need to get themselves out of rut after quite a few losses. Tottenham in the second half came a bit more resolute, came with a little bit more energy, and it proved really well for Tottenham, because then Tottenham Hotspur did equalise from a corner, their first corner, and it was Sarr with the header in the box, and then it was Archie Gray that just tapped it in. 1-1. And then Tottenham Hotspur had a little bit of momentum. But you would have not guessed it, because then we went back on the reprieve again, where it would just be more defensive, and Newcastle coming at us again. And then it was only a matter of time until Newcastle got their goal. Gordon with the assist to Ramsey, and Ramsey put in the back of the net. 2-1 Newcastle. And previously, in the first half, we lost Alderweireld. We brought on Tell. Tell worked hard, but again, the criticism I have of Alderweireld and Tell is that they're not ready. You can't rely on players like this when you're in a relegation battle where you're trying to go for something special or something, a trophy, or for top four. You don't have those. You don't need those sort of players. You need stronger players, and it proved it today. The fact that Tell got into a good position, it was from a good ball, from a good run from Archie Gray. He put the ball in the box, and Tell just completely snapped at it and went over the bar. That just sums up our attack. Moani came on later on in the second half, and he worked hard as well, made some good runs, shown a little bit more attacking intent as well. But it just wasn't good enough to trouble Newcastle. Newcastle had it all sounded out with the defence. And you could see that the more the game went on, it just wasn't going to happen for Tottenham Hotspur. You could just see it, absolutely see it. And luckily, like I said, I wasn't at the game, but you could see that some of the fans didn't believe it either. And this is where it's damning for Thomas Frank. Now, in the end, it was Tottenham Hotspur ended up losing the game, and boos ringing around. There was hardly anybody at the stadium. And with only one win in 10 in the Premier League, in the form table, the last 6 games, Tottenham Hotspur are bottom. Ironically, the game that we won, the only game we won in 10 games in the Premier League, was Crystal Palace away. So really, in the day, and another damning stat for Thomas Frank at the moment, 2 home wins this season. And those 2 wins were against Burnley and Brentford. I know I call myself the professor of truth and entertainment, the ratings killer, but I'm only telling the truth. The facts that people make a big deal about, that something you can't change. It's factual. It's facts. And these are facts. Tottenham Hotspur are really falling down. They're in free fall at the moment. And the only reason why it don't look that bad at the moment, well, it's bad for Tottenham, but the only thing it didn't look even worse for Tottenham is that West Ham bottled their lead very later on against Manchester United. They got the equalising goal, Manchester United. So we're not 3 points away from the relegation zone. It's 5 points. But this is now time for some people to start really making themselves known. Actually get some cojones now and start making some decisions. And I've said already, I'm glad this is happening. I'm glad this is happening now, because now people are now starting to sweat and start realizing now, when you dangle the little carrot of the Premier League status being at risk, now you've got to start realizing now what's at stake, and things do need to change. Not just Thomas Frank. It's like what I said before when I told you before about Johan Lang and Vinay. And it's all this team as well. Because, like I said, they're culpable. This needs to change. They need to go. and we need to start all over again. But the fact is, at the moment, we need to get in an interim to save us from relegation at the moment, to start grinding out results and to get us past 40 points. And I mean 40 points, because it ain't enough for me as a Tottenham fan. If we're going to start calling ourselves the big six teams should get more than 40 points. Because that's embarrassing, the fact that we didn't do that last season. And it shouldn't be something to rely on this season either. We should be more than 40 points. Because if we're not more than 40 points, we deserve to not be a Premier League club. And that might not be a popular opinion, but truth hurts, like I said, coming from your boy, Mr. Box Office, the main event, the professor of truth and entertainment, the ratings killer. And if you don't know, you should have got to know already. And Tottenham Hotspurs should have got to know they're in a relegation battle at the moment. Cold hard facts from your professor of truth and entertainment, the main event. Because the main event don't lie. The main event will never ever stop telling the truth, what he sees. And now you got facts added to it. I ain't got finished yet. Thomas Frank, you gave it a good go. And before anybody says anything, I know people are going to say you want your favourite Pochettino. And I did see the podcast with Pochettino. And listen, yeah, he's got a lot about him. And like I said, it'd be great to have him back, but not in these circumstances at the moment. We need to sort out what is our identity at the moment. But at the moment, the first thing we need to do is sort out, is staying up this season and waking up this board. Thomas Frank needs to go, but he's not the problem. Like Daniel Levy wasn't the problem. Like Paratici wasn't the problem. It's the whole club is the problem and identity. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you for watching this video. We're going to probably have some news tomorrow, as news are from major journalists saying probably Thomas Frank is on the brink of leaving the club. So keep liking, subscribing, and keep watch on the channel for more videos like this. And as always, on a day, which is a very sad day, where Mr. Box Office is completely zoned out completely. He was doing other things rather than watching this game and only watching it back now. Sums up why people say toys, turn off you Spurs. But as always, see you in the next video. If you didn't know, get to know, support your boy, Mr. Box Office, subscribe and like, and come on you Spurs. And I'm out.